You'll see in a moment that Kodo is in pieces right now. But I want to talk first about this little guy here. And Kat, if you can hit to the next scene down. Yeah, all right, you got it. Face cam and body cam. So this is the dice holder, and I added his arm today. And I'm just tweaking up a few little spots here and there, adding a few little things. I'm probably going to do a little chest piece down in here. But he is essentially done.
Where's his dice?
So I want to show you the dice.
Push it up a little bit, we can see.
Okay, hang on. What do you think? Maybe we can put the D20 out here on front. That's where he needs to be, right there.
C-Bomb Girl says, ooh, that's beautiful. So fast. Hello, Mark. He says, groovy.
Hello. So that's the dragon dice holder, almost done, almost ready for casting. Just a few more little tweaks, and probably by tomorrow I'll put him into some silicone. But that's going to be on the website soon. And now we will get to other things here. Let's see if we can put him aside. And let's talk about Kodo. There he is.
Oh!
I believe they called it drawn and quartered.
Lordy, lordy, lordy.
Here's his arm. I got to do a little tweaking on it yet. I've got to do some little bit of smoothing out of the palm and some structure in there. But basically, I'm getting him ready to cast. And let's see, how did his arm go on there?
Mark says, sculpted and quartered.
Sculpted and quartered, yeah. Yeah, that's the way it was.
Oh, thank you. The blood was going to my horn.
So, he's coming along. I'm not going to work too much on him. You'll notice I did finish off the starburst.
Nice job.
And on both pieces of armor, I've got to tweak him a little bit. And then I'll put a funnel spout here and put him into a mold. There's going to be a funnel spout on here. And I'll put...
What is a funnel spout?
Yeah. Do I have any handy? I don't know if I have any handy or not. Something I should have thought of. Hang on. I will get one. Which one's going to show up better?
Z-Bomb Girl says, poor guy.
Okay.
Photo's falling apart.
This is an old one. I'll probably make some new ones for this guy. But it's just a piece of resin. And it's in the shape of a funnel. And so this will go on like so.
Oh, can't see it. There we go.
And then, I'll just mount it like this probably, especially on this one, it'll probably be in a 2-inch tube and PVC pipe. And I'll just pour the whole thing like that. And I'm pretty pleased. I gotta fix his hand here, but I'm pretty pleased that he came out okay. I think it's gonna cast fine. So that's that plan. Then up on top here, another larger tube, funnel spout. It's gonna mount probably right there. And then on the bottom half, I've got to do a little fill-in on here, and make sure that there's plenty of strength for these pieces of leather. I mean, pieces of armor that's on there. And so then the funnel spout will go here like this, and be yeah, of course when I make the mold, it'll be upside down like this. And I think it's going to pour in one piece, no problems. But there's a few, touch-ups I'm going to have to do, smooth out here and there, reinforce, make sure it's strong enough, cover up my boo-boos, and, that's the plan. So, that is Kodo in 2 halves. By the way, look at that. He stands okay. Clay's a little soft right now, so I want to make sure that when I cast him, he's in the proper position. But that's going to be pretty sweet, I think. Cutting them apart was nerve-wracking. That's the reason why I did it off camera. I know. I just couldn't bear the fact that there was just too much tension in the air when I was doing it. So
poor Clint's gonna come in here and see he is in pieces. Oh.
Well, yeah, but that means he's that much closer.
She says, just tell him it's a Lego Kodo.
The only piece that I have left to do on Kodo is this right here. And what I need to do on this piece right here is to add this back counterweight. Here. It's not a very clear picture with what I got, but Clint put a counterweight on here. I think it's just a simple little loopy device and just a balance. And so I think I can do that pretty simply. And that's the only thing left on that. And then I think maybe we'll move on and do some more sculpting on Skeezer tonight. What does everybody think?
Skeezer. It put Caesar.
So we'll move it back to, unless you wanted it on your face, Garrett.
No, thank you.
Okay. So we moved it back to just the body cam and the side cam.
Mark says, do Skeezer.
Do Skeezer?
That's what Mark said.
Well, pass Skeezer over here to me, and we'll talk about him.
Who's that?
He's over there on the desk.
He's so little.
Last we left Skeezer, I had started adding his whiskers on. And I suppose we could continue on. We can do... I kind of looked at him a little bit more, and I think maybe a little bit more back here on the back. Fill him out a little bit. And then start coming up from the back all the way up to the top with his quills. But he's solid. Look at that. He's solid as a rock now. So,
Scrawny little scrapper.
yeah, now if I wanted to carve out a little bit more on his face, I could.
Gotta pick it down some.
So I just take an X-Acto knife and coming in there and scraping a little bit. Can you get me Skeezer's the printout I did so that I can see what his face looks like? I think we did okay. I think there was several spots that I needed to fill in here.
Mark says, nice eyes.
Yeah, the eyes, let's scrape those off. Those were a close match with what Levi had put in there. And you can't believe how long I've had those eyes. I probably have had those eyes probably next to 10 or 15 years. They came as part of a group.
And the Johns is here.
Hey, welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, things that we are doing here is sculpting characters from Everstorm's TT2KB's Everstorm Saga 5e game, the D&D 5e game. This is Skeezer that I'm working on currently, and we've done Kodo. Kodo's being chopped up for casting. I am sculpting currently with this guy in Avis Epoxy Sculpt. And I'm just kind of looking over his face to make sure that I like it so far. He's completely cured now, so I can go back in and carve whatever I want and go from there. Boy, it was hard to put him down on Sunday and leave him because I so wanted to work more. It was temptation to me all day Monday and all day on Tuesday.
That's today.
Yes. I'm just going to smooth out a little bit here, and then I'll fill in this little divot here that's kind of not symmetrical. And then we'll start with putting on those quills.
Ah, the quills.
And let's get the other eyeball scraped off a little bit. What happens is that the Avis Epoxy Sculpt is on my hands, and you can't really put these eyes in without getting them a little bit dirty. And once you get this on there, then it cures on the eyeball, on the glass, and you have to kind of scrape it off. Let's see. Before I begin, I don't want to have any of that dust on there. Now we're kind of leaving his arms for last, so that I can have access, get in there and get to his belt. And there's other items that I want to add to this. If you look at it, that reminds me. You know, how to get onto that one?
What?
That's on the face cam. Something went wacky. Let me fix it. And this one. What in the world went wrong?
Don't judge me.
Okay. Hey, we got a couple more followers. Thank you for following us. Pardon me while I'm correcting some things on here. Want to make sure that we got the right view. But anyway, here. Oh, yeah, it's Skeezer. You want to put up Skeezer? Where is Skeezer? Did I leave him out of this scenes? Give me a second and I'll bring up Skeezer. Skeezer, where are you? Oh, right there he is. Looking straight at him and I couldn't see him. There he is. Okay, so now we're now you can see what I'm seeing. But there's a number of different items. These little bags here. This one over here on the side. Uh, we're going to, and we need to put in that little pocket like there. That seems to be attached to his pants. We need to do the shoes. But right now, let's go ahead and keep working on the quills, because that's going to really define him. It's not an exact likeness, but it's close.
Well, he doesn't have his quills.
Yeah, he doesn't have his quills. He's going to change quite a bit when he gets those quills going. Sorry, I just see something and I have to work on it a little bit.
He's up too high.
And now that he's, cured, had a chance to cure, he'll be a bit easier to work with. The other day, we went from 0 to this, and it was really difficult to get him to cooperate. I'm going to try the Avis epoxy clay. It's a different consistency. It's the same stuff, basically, but it's just a lot more firmer. So we're going to try that. We have been sculpting with Avis epoxy sculpt, but now we're going to try this clay stuff.
Welcome, Poison Ivy Pika. Poison Ivy Pizza. Yes, he is coming along nicely.
I was thinking I was going to finish up on the mall, but I'm glad you guys made me go ahead and do Skeezer.
Yeah, we just had to wrestle you to that one, didn't we? Ooh, that looks weird.
Yeah, I think it's been sitting in there a while. And it's definitely firmer. It's been sitting in my closet for a while. Oh, look at there. That's why.
What it say?
There's a crack in it.
It's gonna be okay.
It's a little stiff. I don't know. It's
Z-Bomb Gaming says, thank you for the raid Sunday. He really appreciated it.
Oh, you're welcome. We are new to the whole Twitch thing, and I'm really loving it, I gotta tell you. But it takes a while to get everything in place and up and running, and all the overlays and the cameras, and figuring out what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and it just takes a while. Fortunately, I had a lot of good help, and my son, who has been very familiar with it. But I'm still catching on. I'm still learning. So once in a while I mess up. Yeah, this is a different color too, and it's very. You can see that it's still drooping, but it's a lot stiffer than the Avis epoxy sculpt. But it still holds detail pretty good. And this one, we're going to start back here. And you notice that his quills are all the way down his back. So I'm going to make some pretty long quills, pretty thin ones, and then put it down and start on his back and work my way up. Oh, but I did say I would. I wanted to fill out that shoulder a little bit more.
Rain Survive says, looks like you might need to change the title of the stream.
Yeah, Well, what can I say?
It'll be a surprise.
I'm going to mix up some of this sculpt and work on that shoulder there too.
And there he goes. Good.
I'm not sure that you can work as a sculptor without jumping everywhere. You have to work on the whole thing at one time. If you get too myopic in one place, you end up with a problem. Namely, it just looks too lopsided.
Rain survives this, and it's all good. I got you promoted in some of our streams.
Thank you.
Discards, rather. Discords.
We got 2 more followers. Just while we opened up the show here, which is really cool. Thank you. By the way, those of you who do not know, we are giving away a box, a little box that I sculpted some time ago, and I replicate them off and sell them. This is a $130 value. So once we reach 100 followers,
that's 30 away.
We will be using MooBot to select a winner. If you are a subscriber, you get double the chances to win. Free shipping in the U.S. If you win and you're outside in Canada or somewhere other country, I will ask you to foot the bill for the shipping, because that can be quite expensive.
We got Underdead Johnny Worms. He came here via Facebook.
Oh, thank you. So it does pay to put things out on Facebook. Sometimes I debate. Yeah, if you were joining me just now and you're expecting to see, the finishing up of Kodo, well, there's really not much to finish up except to put the funnels on and get him into a box so that I can pour silicone around and cast him. I am going to do cut molds with him. Which that means is that I cast it. Here, let me show you. This was Rumblesteam the Owl that I did on Facebook Live. And I put Rumblesteam in there complete and whole and poured around him, and then I came back through and I used a special X-Acto with that shape. See that little shape that's out there? And I just cut down through it, and I cut the mold down almost to the bottom. And you can look inside there. Look, I think the insides of molds are kind of cool. They're like an artwork themselves, Isn't that wacky?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's how I'm doing it. These are called cut molds. They're not necessarily 2-part molds. They're just one mold, and then I cut it with the X-Acto. And so that's how I'm planning to do the parts of Kodo over there. That's the plan.
Undead Johnny Worms said he saw you guys at C2E2. We're seeing you at C2E2 each year. That's how I found you on Facebook.
Oh, thank you very much. We had a good time at C2E2 this year. It was like one of the last cons before the great cancellations.
Great pandemic.
Yeah, the great pandemic canceled everything. So we had a good time. Although Jeff did come back a little under the weather. Where he is? Oh, there it is. But one of the last cons that we went to before all this started happening.
That was the last one.
I don't think there was another one.
Mm-mm.
Because we went Capricorn, also a Chicago convention, smaller. Capricorn, then Canuga down in Tennessee, and then back up to C2E2. It's kind of filling out his back there a little bit. I thought it was a little anemic.
Can't see anything though.
It's hard to adjust this thing without getting all this goop all over it. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. He is a little scrawny dude here. I mean, this guy is... I forget how much Jeff said he's supposed to weigh, but it was like really, really scrawny.
Scrawny dude here.
If Rain Survives is listening, he can list it in the chat. The dimensions of Skeezer.
Yes, Skeezer's 33 pounds.
Oh, okay, whopping. But didn't he have like super strength, you know, like strength that would match a full-grown person? That's the stats for the D&D character. I am planning some other live streams that will be a little different. I'm going to be doing a Dracolich that's coming up. Oh, by the way, and I'll be doing a live stream for Gen Con this year, the virtual Gen Con. That was another convention that was canceled. But we're doing the virtual one, so that'll be fun. That'll be through YouTube. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see it listed there already. It's scheduled. I'm going to be live. All right, so let's see if we can get.
Jeff says no, Skeezer is 39 pounds.
Oh, 39 pounds.
And 3 feet 3 inches. Well, for some reason, all the other players made weak characters, so mine was as strong as the rest.
I don't know about this clay. It's maybe a little bit too stiff for my purposes. I think I'm going to lay it. I hate to waste it, but I'm going to lay it aside and continue on with my Avis epoxy clay. Can't decide whether I like it or not. It is easier, the Avis epoxy clay is easier to roll out, so maybe I do want this.
Poison Ivy Pika and Rain survived. Oh, nice! It's quill time!
Oh, I think Siri thought I was talking to her. Yeah, I need a little bit of... Yeah, the quills are going to be, it's going to take a while.
Skeezer's quills are I mean, more weight than his whole body.
That may be true. Definitely his head's bigger than his body.
Got her again chewing.
Now, whether or not this ends up being castable, I don't know. I don't know.
Poison Ivy Pika says, that's a lot of quills. Laugh out loud. Skeezer could have at least got a haircut. Just kidding. Brain Survive says, yep, he is all brain.
Yeah, I thought about it, how I was going to do this. Man, I tell you what. Sometimes I even dream about stuff like this. It'll start occupying my subconscious. And it's going pretty much like I thought it would. Oh, then I had to say something.
Poison Ivy Pika, laugh out loud. I will leave it. This Skeezer is unique.
Yeah.
He stands out in his own way.
Yeah, he does.
Brain Survives this. I honestly don't know how this will work as a cast. I mean, I assume there is no way it survives the initial mold.
I don't know. You might be surprised. I expect I'll lose some of these quills, but the majority, I think, will come out. I mean, you look at this. I mean, up here in front, that is solid. So that is all solid. It might come out. So we'll just see. You know, we'll push it to the limit and see what we can do. Painting him is going to be something else.
Yeah, teeny tiny.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
You always wanted a challenge, didn't you?
Maybe I'll have Jeff do it. I want to make sure that it gets like a nice build up. It's got to look like these ones are down below, you know, it's rounding off there. Looks like I'll need to mix up a bit more. Everybody have a good Father's Day.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I know I did.
I hope we did.
I had an awesome time. When we did these live broadcasts on live streams on Sunday with Jeff, it was just a blast.
That train was awesome.
Yeah, it was. But it was just more than that. I was just like, man, I'm making progress on Skeezer. It's like, oof, I didn't think I'd get that far along.
It's just like college, you know? You get started, you know, you have an assignment and all of a sudden you get going and, oh, wow, it's almost done. Once you start applying yourself, time flies when you're having fun. piece there kind of looked like the Star Wars cantina person that was singing that had those long horns on her head.
Yeah.
That's what that one piece looked like.
Oh, you mean the yeah? What? Oh, what are they?
Not what that critter was.
She's cosplayed a lot.
Rain survives says, what's everyone's guess for number of quills? Ooh, I guess I better start counting.
Damn, it's gonna be a lot.
A lot.
That's my guess. A lot. I need to refresh myself. Oh, some other projects in the works. I'm gonna do that necklace. That's gonna be fun to do. I'm doing a Cthulhu box with a kraken on top, with Cthulhu symbols on the side.
Post Navy Pika. 7,075.
Oh, you know what else I want to do? I've had so many projects in my notes that I wanted to do for so long, and just was able to do them because I was working in so much production of things I'd already done, reproducing them, and going to the shows and selling. Important because, you know, that's how you earn a living, but I just didn't have any time to do new stuff. And now I'm finding that at last I do have the time, and it's looking promising. So one of the projects I want to do, it's been on the books for a long, long time, is a DM screen. And the way I want to do my DM screen is to have a dragon looking out at the players with his wings spread out as the part of the screen. I think it'll be epic.
That's cool.
You know, honestly, folks, I get so many projects going, and there was one that I wanted to finish, and I have just never have. I did Rocky and Bullwinkle, probably before some of you guys' time, but I wanted to do a modernized version of Rocky and Bullwinkle, kind of like
before our time.
kind of like a serious, you know, take on Rocky and Bullwinkle. And I had Rocky with a jetpack on, and he was really steampunked up. And I was going to do Bullwinkle in the same fashion. I just never got to it. But, you know, it stayed in the brain. Still there. You never know.
Z-Bomb says 6,969 quills.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy Pika says, well, I wasn't just gonna guess 10. Oh, Z-Bomb I changed my answer to 6,942.
That may be well correct.
Rain Survives says, no official number, but looking at it, I think it's around 200 to 300. Poison Ivy Pika. Okay, so I was way off. I think I'll have to have a little tally here to see who gets closest.
Who's counting?
Huh?
Who's counting?
I guess we better start counting.
I'm not counting. I it's enough for me just to try to get them on there. torn between, you know, like trying to make it castable and then trying to make it look, you know, cool. Yeah, I think that's. We might as well fill in this area because I want it to come out. We'll pretend like that's his hood. Starting to crumble on me. Oh, fiddlesticks.
Z-Bomb says, well, I'd say 777. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. A little bit more in there. Now you have to begin down here on his back because of the way they're layered. So even if you want to do, like, you want to see how his face is going to look.
Dang, I should have started conical. Those are going to be hard to count.
Impossible to count would be my guess. Because I've layered on top of them.
There's the library on top of them.
I layered. Of course, that's a very heavily accented Indiana accent.
Poison Ivy Pika says, I'd rather guess how many scales Kodo has.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty rough, too. You got a lot of them.
Is that looking? Yeah, I think that's looking right.
Well, we're at 70 followers. We need 30 more to reach our 100 goal. Mark says, please tell Dave thank you for the print.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
from Mark. The wizard study. That's what you gave Mark.
Yeah, okay. We've been shipping out quite a bit, and sometimes I forget what shipment goes where. It's been really I never did a whole lot of online stuff before. Not for the lack of trying, I tell you that much, but we were selling mostly at shows, you know. That's where the lion's share of the sales would go. And then, of course, this hit, and then everybody else is feeling like, oh, man, I can't go and I can't get myself stumping, you know, like I want to get myself something, a nice piece of art or something, reward myself for being a hard worker. And everybody's in the same boat, so then they decide, hey, I guess we'll have to buy it online. Which, thank you very much. I mean, I've been very grateful. I was really, really worried for a while. Thought maybe this might be it. May have to go do something else for a while. Which, I'm pretty sure I'm unhireable at this point.
I doubt that.
I don't want to find out. I enjoy what I do too much. I've worked long and hard to build the business.
So everybody's trying to figure out how we're going to count these quills. We're going to rewind it, start from the beginning, start counting.
Oh, goodness.
Poison Ivy Pika
Yeah.
says, oh, I will.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Me too. That's what I call dedication.
How's that looking, by the way? Do you think that looks great?
It's looking great.
Okay. I have been
Lord, it
known.
almost looks like back here. Oh, that's frightening. Ugh.
I have been known to get to this stage and go, no, not having it. Wipe it all off.
Rain survives. What do you think? Does it look okay?
Let's get.
Poison Ivy Pika. Do we win a mini Skeezer if we guess right? Laugh out loud. Rain survives says, looks cool.
Let's see now. Got to work on trying to get that to look right. I think that's looking right. Yeah, I'll think about that. I'll think, if somebody besides me can count and accurately report how many quills
Oh,
I'm adding.
man.
Not me, though.
Rain survived. Haha, right now he looks like he has a skullet.
Yeah. Oh, pull out the tip. There we go.
Skullet. Oh, mercy.
Yeah, they need to be longer.
It's all head and ears and quills.
Well, a lot of quills.
Head of quill.
I think this one needs to be
Mark's
pretty
got
long.
some errands to run. Have fun.
Yep.
Thanks for stopping in.
Spread the word. Ooh, a bit silent there.
Ocean Age Madsen just subscribe. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, one of the things that also this pandemic has been good for is to get me to the point where I'm actually doing these live broadcasts. Something I've wanted to do for a long time. And opportunity came, and so we put a lot of energy into making new videos for YouTube. And we've started up this Twitch channel. And going to be adding a whole bunch of other stuff to it as time goes on. So we hope you will subscribe, enjoy, be a part of the whole team. We will be giving away a lot of stuff and doing all kinds of new projects. I'm thinking that once I get, one of those big, large goals, like 1,000 followers, I will give away.
Soulstorm 103 is now on.
I will give away a character sculpt. So, like your own take, whatever your character is, I might be giving away one of those. No small thing, I might add. You all can see how long it takes me to do these things. But that's a far off goal.
Oh, that Soulstorm was one of the guests on Rain Survives the show last night.
Oh, okay. Wait.
What?
Is that the... Okay. I watched part of that. Well, until I got too sleepy. I was up to about 11:40 or something like that.
Soulstorm says, dude, of course, crafting is so cool. I can only resin stuff.
Well, like anything, you set your mind to do it, and...
You can do it! Soulstorm says, oh wow, thank you.
Now, he's going to have a little bit more build out here. Because let's see, how's that going to go? It needs to be way out. So I'm going to build up a little bit, mix up some more stuff. You'll never see this part of it. It's just building out so that the quills stick out farther.
Got brain tumor.
Among other things. He'll look a whole lot better once he's got a head full of quills. I'm thinking my dice holder with the dice is going to be about $120. And you could probably buy one of those unpainted and paint it yourself. Like projects like that. Unpainted, maybe $100. I don't know. I have to make sure of my price for my dice first.
Yeah.
And how much resin and silicone I use up in casting. A little bit more in here.
Soulstorm says, Damn, this is cool.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Should have mixed up a little bit more, I think. Lumpy. Try that again. There's all kinds of fancy words for the clay. You know, for the tear, for instance, of the tear factor of the clay. This is fairly fragile. I forget what the word is. Where it breaks, you know, see, like if you stretch it, it does that. There's a word for that. It does that. So if you stretch it, not uniformly. There's a word for that, and can't remember what it is. Well, it's connected to elasticity. I should have just put on to the announcement, hey, I'm doing Skeezer tonight.
Soulstorm donated $5. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. My goal was initially a 3D printer, but then I goofed up with my silicone, wasted a bunch, and so now I'm just back to doing supplies. I probably need to put that order in tomorrow. Get some silicone down here so that I can do Kodo. Get him all cast up.
Soulstorm's broadcast is 3 hours.
That's what we did Sunday. We're going to do about 2 hours tonight, and then hand you off to Cam, to Bardic Knowledge. I think that's what we're going to do.
Soulstorm says, dude, of course, if I had a working 3D printer, I would just give you mine. You clearly make more use of it.
Well, there's a lot of things that I got to do yet. I'm pretty rusty right now. It's been maybe 10 years since I cracked the books on a 3D modeling program. I used to be really good, but I went on a binge where I just love doing the physical parts of clay like this. And you know, if you stand still with technology, it races past you very fast. But the basics I still have. I mean, I think it's
very
like
fast.
it'll be there when I pick it up again. I'm thinking that I'll try ZBrush this time. Before I was using Moto, but Moto has become very expensive, as probably rightly they should. They were a very good program. And I was also using Silo 3D, which are a really stripped down 3D modeling program little 3D modeling program that was pretty easy to learn and very fast and clean. I liked it a lot. So I was working for a furniture company at the time as the art director, and I was doing stuff for the web. So I was trying to animate special projects where, you 3D model this chair, and then have the fabric change on the chair just by the person selecting whatever fabric they wanted. It took a little bit of ingenuity and programming, but it was a fun project. I think I still have that somewhere. And then I was doing other things. I was 3D modeling prototypes for them and showing how their chairs stack together and all kinds of crap. Very boring. But it was, it was a skill that I could develop while I was there. So I did.
Poison Ivy Peak has been counting. It says it's been between 17 to 20. I have counted so far.
Oh my.
Rain Survive says, yeah, I think my guess of 200 to 300 might be too high even.
You think? I mean, look at that. There's a lot in there. And I covered up a lot, too. But it's...
Soulstorm says, have you ever done minis of dark crystal things?
That's one of the reasons why I want to get back into 3D modeling on the computer. My eyes are not what they used to be. And so it's very hard for me to see close up. And I don't get as much detail. I think if I did a mini, you could do minis out of this stuff here. It's kind of like the green stuff. But I don't have the eyes for it anymore. Not that little. I've done jewelry that's that little and had scales that are very, very tight and well, this one doesn't have any scales on it, but you can see where I've done jewelry like this. And this is bronze now. But I've got scoop all over my hands. So.
Hi, Air Laser.
So I've done the jewelry stuff. I did a few pieces with really, really tiny scales. I did an Ouroboros that with really, really tiny scales. But that's getting harder for me to do. He's going to need to have this even in behind his ears filled out. There's a lot of volume to these coils. So I might as well add some volume there since I'm doing it one at a time. He's using a volumizer. I just washed my quills and I can't do a thing with them. They're so drab and clinging to my head. I need a volumizer.
A little boy reminder. Alrighty then. Little boy reminder.
I am not responsible for my Indiana accent.
Ball for my Indiana account. Wow. Air Laser. Oh. She reached 200 followers, so this Sunday I'm going to do a sub giveaway for a Pandad sculpture.
Oh, very cool.
Pick from 3 options, and then a 3 followers can win game codes.
Well, very cool. Thank you very much. We will throw in a little surprise for you. Oh my goodness, my back.
I want to stand up break. Rain survives. All it takes is bumping into southern Midwesterners for a few minutes and then boom! I sound like a hillbilly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you don't think you have an accent. But then somebody points out to you that, did you just say warsh?
Whoosh.
And you think to yourself, did I?
Yes, you did.
And then you end up going, oh my gosh, I did. I washed my hands. I washed them really good.
You washed them. Even this thing doesn't even know how to spell it. Wash, whoosh, wash.
Just giving up. It's like going, what the heck? This guy. Did you go to school? Oh.
Pika says mine is just Minnesotan mixed with Canadian, since I'm 4 hours away from the border.
Is that what it's all about?
Even. Air Laser says I have more of Eastern Canadian accent mixed with Northern Ontario.
Uh-huh.
Aha. Air Laser says I'm sure Pika sounds more Canadian than me. Eh?
I think I need to put more behind his ears here too. It's gonna fill out there.
Rain Survive says, so as you get to the upper layers of the quills, do you think they will get longer and thinner, or is the clay unable to do that?
I'm pretty much at its limits right now, bub. I will try, but I'm not promising anything. I mean, you look at those quills on his head, though; those are pretty thick. So let me roll out something here for you, and we'll compare. That's his eyebrow right there. See it?
All I see is a hand.
Oh, sorry. There, look. The thing is that there's a lot of volume here, so I need to find a way to extend to make individuals out there. I'm not sure that I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to try. And it might be at that point that some of these things get broken when it comes to casting. So I'm a little worried about that. So I may have to compromise and not do so far out. We'll just keep working at it and see what we come up with here.
Everybody's excited. They can't wait till Skeezer's done. And then see the plushie. guess you heard from the plushie people. They're working on Skeezer's hair.
Yeah, as I am. Now, how are we gonna do this? I don't know, Bob.
What's wrong with these people?
They want what? He has quills for hair. Yeah, he has what?
Hair Laser said I watched the YouTube channel and they're Minnesota and they say, yeah, betcha a lot. Yeah.
Convergence, one of my favorite conventions. Happens not this year, but happens every year during 4th of July, or it was. And sad but true, it's canceled. It canceled. Convergence. I don't know if you've ever been to Minneapolis for that convention, but that's a good one. It's about 6,000, 7,000 people. Fan run. Oh, just so good. Mixed genre games and sci-fi, literature, art show.
Rain survives. The question is, how old is Skeezer?
I don't know. How old is he? It was my understanding that Skeezer was a created being. That he was like dreamed up in a lab somewhere.
Green Buffle. What about it? Poison Ivy. Pika. She's gonna guess 40.
This guy here on the end here. Very important to get these guys right. Because these are the ones you'll see. And I think he's gonna...
Rain survives. Game 1, he wanted to pretend it was his birthday, and I think it was his 80th.
Yeah, so he's like one of those mystical beings. A gnome.
Hair Laser says, my mom had hers 39th birthday for 20 years.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy Pika says, oh man, he is wiser.
Well, I feel 20. Well, let me qualify that. Except for the aches and pains. I feel in my mind, well, for that matter, I feel like I'm 12. It's kind of like my whole maturity level stopped at around 12.
Brain Survive says, gnomes live a long time. But in actuality, Skeezer is probably less than a year old.
Ah.
Well, maybe 2 years now since adventuring. Poison Ivy Pika. He doesn't look like it. Laugh out loud. He looks 40. Here, Laser. Even if I pick an older race, so far they tend to be younger for that race. Brain Survive says, but he has implanted fake memories for a whole life.
Oh, cool. I'm assuming that he was made kind of like in a magical way, right? Or am I assuming too much?
Air laser, making character ranging from 18 to 30, but equivalent to the race. Air laser, yeah, he's a clowny.
Oh, my beak.
Rain Survive says, yeah, he was manufactured by a mysterious arcane spell caster. We are still learning about it all. But he is one of 12 as far as I can guess. Air laser, Levi is biased against clones.
I like Levi's imagination. It's pretty rich. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. On some of my other projects, I'll probably do some live broadcasts on Twitch, but it'll probably be in the mornings. So you may see some notifications from me that I'm online. I have no idea if these little fine quills that I'm putting on now is going to survive the mold making casting process. I'm hoping that I'll be able to pull that. I have to fill it in quite a bit so that it works, but that's beginning to look right. Get them all in the same direction. He's coming along.
Well, that looking good.
I know it's not going to be as fluffy as those quills, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess I should reserve judgment until I've got it done.
You think?
And then I criticize it?
Ben,
Yeah.
don't go too soon.
I mean, I could try some wire. But that's going to slow me down even farther.
Poison ivy pica. I think the quills are up to 46. We're getting there. This ought to be interesting to really see how many there are.
So Sunday in 3 hours, I got his entire body done and the face somewhat done. And tonight I've got quills done.
Well, there's a heck of a lot of them. There's a lot of rolling to get it to the right.
Yeah, when you
thickness.
get to this stage, it's kind of slow. The residue's coming off on the board, so then that makes it harder to roll them out. Looks looking good. I may try the firmer Abus epoxy clay and see what that does for me. Let's see if I can get them so that they stick out more. Let's just try it. Oh my goodness. Nope. That's almost hardened up.
Survive says Skeezer's old man ear hairs has got to be the worst.
Yeah. I think every time he runs his hands through his hair, that's probably a exercise in torture. No, kiddos, that's just too tough.
Rain survives. Imagine sleeping a Skeezer. Yikes.
Yeah. There is but one position to sleep in as a porcupine. So Clint hasn't joined us, right? No. I wanted to show him all the chopped up Kodo, so he could start worrying. Yeah.
This race versus Clint is here.
Oh, he is. Crazy Ike.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully by Sunday, I will have something really cool. Hopefully. Either that or I'm going to cry. So, you know, tune in. Wouldn't be the first time. I just washed my quills and I can't do a thing with them.
I just washed my wheels.
Well, the AI tries. Makes you wonder, though, doesn't it? I mean, how, you know, we're worried about privacy and those kind of things. So who's listening in and all that. But just casual talking, I mean, they get most of it, but a lot of it is like really crazy stuff. So I wonder just how accurate. Maybe the really supercomputers are very accurate. Who knows?
Hair laser. Skeezer's hair is so neat.
Oh, thank you.
Wow, it's really flaring out pretty good there. You had a lot of melon to work with.
Well, I'm hoping that it's going to work out here. I have no idea. I mean, I played it over in my mind quite a bit. But I have no idea if this is actually going to pan out here. Pan out for the Pandad. Don't know. Don't know. Dad may have to do some chipping to take it all off when it's solid. Oh, wouldn't that be terrible? Yeah. I can always go back in and fill it more. And I can fill some of these cracks open. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The real concern is how it's going to react when it gets silicone around it. Now, this is one of the reasons why we didn't do this character in clay, because, well, because of this. Can you imagine trying to dig that clay out of the silicone when it breaks off in there? Oh, that'd be horrendous. Horrendous.
That is looking great.
What about it, Rain Survives? Is that what you were talking about when you said are the
He's
pieces
looking really good.
getting longer?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he's going to be all right. I believe, Skeezer, I believe that your hair implants are going to be okay.
Crazy Ike says, now if Skeezer would have just lost both arms, he would almost be finished. And Rain surprised. Hey, we can make that happen in game. He'll have just illusion arms. Poison Ivy Pika says, replace them with force hooks.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the author that I come on that I've read several times. I think his name is Reynolds.
What?
Anyway, there is an author of a sci-fi books, quite a few of them, that have projections into the far future about different technologies, and a lot of it's medical. And at one point, they disassemble this guy into a whole bunch of pieces while he's still conscious.
Ooh.
And still able to function, so he could look over and see, his torso and his. It's really something, but
That's really something.
yeah. Trying to think of some of the books. Now I can't even think of the books now. That's frustrating. I'll look it up and have a report for you on Sunday.
If you remember.
Yeah. Book reports. I just finished.
Rain Survive says, was that the audio book you were listening to?
No, that was different. Can't think of that guy's name either. That was kind of good.
No.
I just finished up a book by Neil Stephenson, Fall or Dodge in Hell, which was about the singularity and basically being able to scan people and when they die and have them reconstituted in the computer and what that would look like and all the rest of it. And really more, it was about that, but it was also about, it was just fascinating why some people think that we live in a simulation now. And for instance, we're talking about the speed of light limit and what that would entail as maybe a proposal for limiting the computer consumption. The amount of energy would it take to simulate. As it turns out, simulations qualia is quite high. That's why the bigger our games get, the more fine-tuned, the more rich the environment. But that's just a visual environment. Think about this: visual and sound. But if you add touch and smell and other qualities, other qualia, it soon becomes, you'd have to have a computer the size of the universe to simulate the universe. But that's with our current thinking, our current knowledge. I'm quite sure that there's going to be some surprises ahead of us if we survive, if man is still alive in 2025. The dream of Star Trek, I don't know, folks. I want it. I want the world that Star Trek Federation is in. But man, we got some problems. We got some problems to solve. Some things to overcome.
Well, this battle with these quills are something else. Crazy X's. Well, I counted it as I was wrong at 596. And then, Rain Survives had put 200 to 300. And then Crazy X said, dang, 7,000? Poison Ivy Pika. Well, according to Levi's art, he added a lot. To be fair.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
a ticket.
He added a lot. I wish they were longer right there. I'm thinking once they get a little harder, then I can go back in and add some long ones. Maybe I can do that now. We'll see. Not as easy as it sounds.
That's a long one. Pretty cool.
Not as easy as it sounds. Well, that's not gonna. That'll just break off. There's no even point in putting it on there. Well, let's put it down there like that. Okay, it already broke.
Sounds quick.
I'm dum dum ba bo ba ya da body kuti da ba da ba.
20 minutes left. So you think you'll get the hair done?
No, no, I don't think I'll get the hair done.
Well, the coils of skin. Rain Survives. Just go back in and add hair extensions later.
I'll try. That's the plan, Batman. That is the plan.
Crazy X is, bro, need to start some coffee. I'll be on with Cam tonight.
Oh
On his
boy.
show. Gotta have my caffeine.
Oh, good. You're on. I think Cam does a really remarkable job with his music. One thing I was never talented at. My brother, on the other hand, he could hear a song and play it. First time out.
Crazy X says Skeezer is actually bald. That's a hairpiece. Oh my god.
It's a comb over.
Wow.
Pretty-
Way comb over.
Pretty damn serious comb over.
Z-Bomb Gaming says, how do you plan to have the quills to stand up on the upper part of his head?
Yeah, that's a question. But as you notice, the more I'm doing, the further up I'm going. They're sticking further out. So as they come up, it's going to go like this. And I hope be all right.
Yeah, that's a big hope.
Yeah, well, person's got to have hope.
Like Poison Ivy Pika. Does Skeezer need a wax or a shave? Left out loud.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, damn, that brought up some thoughts. I don't want to go there. No, come on. No, I don't want to go there. Brain, come back.
Wow, these headphones are boiling good.
Boiled. Huh. That latched onto the other grouping and then pulled up that whole section in a way I didn't want it to. You probably get
That's the matter?
Nothing. I ran out of stuff.
Oh. Rain Survives says Skeezer is a natural exfoliant. Z-Bum wanting to know what your strategy was going to be to make his hair stand up. A miracle?
Well,
not America, a miracle.
I'm gonna get tighter and tighter with pushing it down, so it's gonna build on itself. You'll see.
Stay tuned.
Either that or you won't. And I will be doing it again. Yeah. This is the result of me looking at the ceiling during the night, thinking, how am I going to do that? Having never done it before. Never done this before.
We're all going to learn together.
That's the name of the ticket. Name of the game. That's the name of the game. He's a little droopy in here. Looks like a friar monk now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Sure you don't want him to be a monk? Rain survives?
Says, oh, I'm sure that there is a friar version of him out there somewhere.
Just as I am sure that there is a very, very wealthy me somewhere. In a universe far, far away. That gives me, like, every time I think about it, I go, oh yeah, he's having a good time. I'm so glad for him.
Share the wealth. Share the wealth. Rain Survive says, I know there's a monk, but it's like a Bruce Lee martial artist monk.
Oh yeah.
Poison Ivy Pizza. Whatever happened to that other Skeezer that disappeared?
You're only playing.
He's gone. What?
There's not a hive mind of these guys, is there? I mean, you're not playing all of them. You're playing just the one character. Or maybe there is a hive mind. And you're only aware of one consciousness at a time. How would that work? I don't know. I do not know. Yeah, see?
Brain survives as the flex text and the flop are both tracked in the mode. Right now, waiting to be remade. As far as I know, I only control Skeezer. From all of the clones are their own people.
Okay. As far as you know. Every night you go to sleep and you lose track of who you are.
Yeah, Laser came back. She's working. She said, oh, the hair looks so great.
And then you wake up in the morning. Who's to say you aren't somebody new? Are you sure you're the same person? Or were you just implanted with the same memories?
Rain Survive says, for all I know, Skeezer might be the original character of all the others and just forgot it.
Yeah. Hey there. Stop sticking to each other. Midnight at the Oasis.
Yeah, that's gonna be midnight pulling there.
See, I mean, it's coming up. You just get tighter and tighter with the where you're planning these things, and then it starts going out. See, look at that. That's working. I'm telling myself a story so that I will believe that it's possible.
Rain Survive wants to know, do you know how to raid?
Do I know how to read?
Raid.
Raid. Oh, I believe I do. One point for old man lore.
You got 1.4. Where'd that come from? 1.4-year-old man lower.
Old man lore. He's gaining points every time. Hopefully he doesn't forget them. While he does something else. It's an amazing amount of stuff I have to relearn on a daily basis. Man, it didn't used to be that way.
You want Rain Survive to come up? Help you or not?
Yeah, sure. If he wants to come up and help me, I'd be most appreciated. You can take a closer look at Skeezer. Boy, oh boy, is that going to be interesting to make a silicone mold of that. Ooh-wee. Whoa, 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 buddy. What kind of crazy idea do you have? I don't know. I do not know. There should be an inhibitor on my voice at this point, but I guess there isn't. I guess I lost it when I started paying too much attention to the sculpt and still attempting to talk. Boop, 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 boop. No.
I've got 10 minutes.
You guys cat people or dog people? Or both? I would consider myself both. Because I do find cats extremely fascinating. But I love the lovability of a little dog.
The what ability?
The lovability.
Oh.
The over-enthusiasm. The craziness of a dog. Especially little dogs, you know, like those little rat terriers are my favorite. And then only because when I was a kid, I had a little rat terrier. My mom surprised us with it right out of the blue. Just brought home a little rat terrier one day. It had been in a cage so long it could hardly walk. It was so sad, but we rescued her. And she eventually became, you know...
Fat.
Yeah, she did. But for a while, she was she was a good mouser. She loved to catch mice in the barn. Crazy dog. But she became fat.
She loved her chicken.
Yeah, well, my dad did too, and so he would share his chicken with her too much.
Should look like a little fat rhino. Wow.
Well, I believe that it's going to work now that I've seen it this far along. Whether or not I can pull that from the mold when it's resin, I just don't know. We'll see. I may have to repair it somewhat. I think some of it, will break. But then I can always add, repairs to it. I think we'll be okay. May have to roll the mold around to make sure that the resin gets in all these little fine quills. And some of them are sticking together. That's frustrating. Yeah. Well, folks, this is going to take a lot longer. No speed sculpting here. Now this is one place where if you're doing it via computer, you're sculpting on the computer, this probably would be there would be an easier way to animate it. Still run into the same problem when you want to replicate and trying to 3D print this. Wow. I don't know. I don't know, Charlie. Bob said it could be done, but I'm pretty sure he was crazy. Yeah. Well, yes, sir. I guess so. I'm kind of digging at this point.
You digging it?
I'm digging it.
My diggity.
Once we get around to his head, this whole thing is gonna change. His face will change. So
getting some good volume going there.
Volumizer.
I'm just a little concerned that some of it'll break when we go to pull it, but we'll see.
Well, if it breaks, you still get the mold, right?
Yeah, I still got the mold, and
it's looking good. I like them.
yeah, silicone will get everywhere. It'll replicate this thing like it was nobody's business. whether or not.
Holy shnikers.
I
Jeff
am
is tall.
I am not tall. I am 5'9". A short guy. But yeah, the sculpt's coming along really well. So get you all queued up for the raid here soon if you're feeling like you're at that time. 'Cause it's 8:56.
Okay, sure. We can do our plugs. Thursday night I'm doing something new, I guess. I'm going to do that Cthulhu box, I think. It's either going to be that or I'm going to do my necklace, one of the two. But I kind of want to do the Cthulhu box. So tune in on Facebook, and we will be live on Facebook on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Probably do maybe an hour and a half show. So you'll want to tune in then. I'll be back here on Sunday at 4 o'clock we'll do some more work on Skeezer, and hopefully we'll have some things done on Kodo as well. Oh, and yeah, and my dice holder, I probably have it done too. What else? Oh, I want you to tune in to Wisdom Check on Monday nights for TT2KB's talk
Nailed it.
show.
Nailed it.
Stuck the landing.
TT2KB.
And now I'll never be able to say it again.
Yeah, they're saying thanks for the stream. Have a good night. Steve's looking fabulous.
All
I
right.
agree. All right, we're gonna load this bus.
We'll see you later. Spread the word. Help me get more followers, and we'll give away that box soon.
Awesome. Bus is loaded. It is raid time. See you over there, guys.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.
It's done. Hold on. Gotta finish this up here. There we go.
And we